D Naidoo, Municipal Manager of Ugu, thank you for your time. I want to start off the interview by asking you whether you know about the expression, the rugby expression, when the one centre gives the other centre a pass, and as the ball reaches the second centre, the opposition flattens him as soon as he receives the ball. Is there no, no correlation between the flattened centre and you?
I'm not sure about that, but for now I don't think we flattened. I think we're still standing. So we'll proceed from there and see how it goes.
But it was a difficult pass?
Yeah, it was. I probably think it was very difficult. But I think now that we have got the ball, we have to keep running.
What are the problems as you can identify them? How long have you been here now?
I've been here now from 1st of March.
Okay. Yeah. The problems as you see them?
Johan, the issue at Ugu basically is the financial crisis that we have found ourselves in. So what we needed to do was to find out what were the factors that got us into this financial crisis. Because at the end of the day, just trying to resolve the financial crisis will still land you in that crisis if you don't deal with the factors that led to that or that put you into that. So we were lucky that we've had a lot of support from COCTA provincially, from Provincial Treasury, National Treasury, SALGA, who've all come on board recognizing that Ugu was in a financial crisis and needed to assist. And the first thing that I did when I came here was to conduct an assessment, my own assessment of what the issues were. And after doing that assessment, I then looked at other diagnostic assessments that were done and found that the correlation was there. The issues were common. And then what we did, we've put together a turnaround strategy which we've called Back to Basics. And this turnaround strategy, the idea was to deal with those issues that led to this financial crisis. And in that came up a whole host of issues, and we put together implementation plans. And it so happened about that time we also then appealed to the MEC for COCTA for assistance. She's then taken us under a certain provision that we have in the Constitution to assist us, and she's also given us resources to be able to deal with these issues. And arising out of that, we now have a combined, what we call an intervention team and dealing with a turnaround strategy. Now, Johan, arising out of that strategy, there are a whole host of actions that need to take place. And I think that's where you're going to. Yeah. These actions now that are being implemented at the municipality. And let me just say at the very outset, whether I'm here, or whether somebody else comes tomorrow or somebody else comes next year, there is no doubt that whoever you are, you will have to do what needs to be done. Because it has been agreed by everybody that's involved in the turnaround that these are the steps that need to be implemented. Now, unfortunately, in implementing that, all those actions as per the turnaround strategy, we find that now we are having resistance from certain quarters.
So let's be more specific, budget-wise. Yes. What went wrong there?
Okay, in terms of the budget-wise, can I answer you in domestic terms? Okay, very simply, we were leading a life we couldn't afford. We were spending money we didn't have. And in a household, if you earn 100 Rand, and you start spending 150 Rand, after a few months, it catches up. And that's exactly what happened at Ugu. You spent money that you never had, and you were running an institution at a level you couldn't afford. Yeah, that's basically what happened.
You said yourself, Ugu is not technically bankrupt, it's bankrupt.
We were bankrupt. We are definitely bankrupt. And the Provincial Treasury has given us resources, and we have Ernst & Young here. And it just so happened on the Thursday morning, I met with them, and I have a report here. And they brought to my attention that if I do not put certain steps into operation immediately, that come the next few months, I would not be able to meet my financial obligations, and one of them is paying salaries. So that's a situation. We are spending money we don't have, and that needs to stop.
Now, talking about salaries, what do you have to now decrease your personnel complement?
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
I think you're putting it very diplomatically, and let me then just go along the line that you have taken. Yes. I've been told in no uncertain terms, I have to decrease my personnel costs. Now, how that will happen, we have not finalized it yet.
Just for interest's sake, what is the percentage today, the cost of your operating?
Our total salary budget for the year is about 242 million, and I've been told I need to cut off at least 45 million off that. In terms of your monthly figures, our monthly expenditure is about 37 million, and your direct salary cost is 18 million. Now you do your figures, it's 50%. And let me give you this figure. Your monthly collection is about 20 million. So basically, your collections is your salaries. Now, when that happens, what money do you have to then really provide the services? So the bottom line is that we've also been to the legislature, I think it was about a month ago, the mayor and I, and they told us, with no illusions, you guys' salary bill is too high. And I think that is been told to us. Now we've got to try and look at how we cut personnel costs. Now, there are various ways that we're looking at doing it, but unfortunately I've not finalized it, and we are having a meeting both with the province and the leadership on the 17th of October. And arising out of that meeting will be very clear what route we're going to take. But I think the fact that we have to reduce personnel costs is not negotiable.
Let's talk about overtime. Is it true that some people have been working more than 40 hours a week overtime?
Absolutely. The overtime is really a serious issue in this municipality. The regulation states that we should not work more than 40 hours overtime. Staff have been working way, in fact, some of them in the hundreds. And we find that people have been taking home an additional 30 to 40, in some months 50,000 rand only on overtime. Our overtime budget for the whole year is 10 million. In the last 2 months, we've expended 4 million. And if we continue with that in 3 or 4 months' time, the budget has been expended and there will be no more money. So overtime has to be drastically reduced. It has to be.
And then there are some people who say that working overtime is also a misnomer, that they don't work during that overtime.
Yeah, Johan, there are a lot of issues around the overtime. I don't want to go into them because we are dealing with them. You are correct. Let me put it to you this way. There are very serious challenges in the management of overtime.
Okay, Didi, but now, the irony. I saw it myself, and my colleagues in the room here saw it ourselves last week. You are now doing this because you have to. It makes sense. Now you have the union on your back. Now they say to you, you are discriminating. D Naidoo should go, etc., etc. He's mismanaging. So how do you sort out this catch-22?
Okay. Let me first say this, and I'm not saying this with any arrogance. I'm saying this with a total respect. I'm going nowhere. I've been employed to work at UGU for 5 years. And the people who have employed me are not the unions. It is the leadership of the municipality. If the leadership of the municipality feel that I've mismanaged, then they must charge me. If they feel that I'm doing something wrong, then they must charge me. But everything that I'm doing has been discussed at EXCO, has been discussed at province, has been discussed at portfolio meeting, has been discussed at the council. So what I'm doing, I have resolutions to do. Okay? So I'm not doing it personally. Now, asking me to go, obviously you will have to explain why you need to go. But Johan, you need to understand this in the context. People have been enjoying certain benefits for many years, for want of a better word, have become part of their salaries or normal benefits, monthly benefits.
The lifestyle is at a certain
level. And
level.
as a result of that, have been leading a certain lifestyle. Now suddenly you realize that you're not going to be getting that additional benefit. And what is a normal human reaction? To fight it. And that is exactly what they're doing. And I don't have a problem with that because I understand where they're coming from. But what they need to understand, it's not about us, it's not about you and me. It's about this institution which is government, and it's about the hundreds of thousands of people whom we serve. Now, if we continue to pay ourselves the way we are paying ourselves, we don't leave any money to roll out services. So whatever I'm doing is not illegal. If it is, then we need to deal with it in the various forums. But whatever I'm doing has to be done. It's been discussed. It's not that I get up in the morning and I come to work and I decide I'm going to take away car allowances. It's well thought through, it's researched, and we put this in place. And the other thing, Johan, I want to make it very clear. I don't have time on my side. The MEC is going to review her decision on the 20th of November, whether to place us under full administration or to give us a chance to continue because we are recovering. The specialists who are here are telling me, you have 2 months of cash flow. They've told me that my present budget, I'm 100 million short. Now, where am I to go and get that 100 million if I don't start cutting costs? So there is no other way to do than what is it we are doing. Now, all these things we are doing so that we are trying to make a saving to be able to mitigate what people are saying in terms of us closing shop, without going up the route of retrenchments. So if people use their energies and support us in what we're doing, then there may be no need to start retrenching people and look at it through national attrition and bringing it down, because you are supporting and the initiatives. Johan, from the time I've come here, I've put in a lot of initiatives, but those initiatives are not bringing us the success we expected. And what do you do when that doesn't work?
Why? Is it for lack of trying?
Let's look at overtime.
Okay.
We put a whole host of issues in place. We're trying to control it. But I'm not getting the success I need in overtime. So what happens? If something doesn't work, you up the game and you look at something else that works. So it's a normal course of management, and there's nothing personal or hidden or covert, as people will refer to. We're open and transparent, and I share everything with everybody. I've got nothing to hide.
Look, the message is already there. But in the light of what you've just said, Sambu, I mean, what is in 2 sentences, what is your message to them about this matter? I mean, just to summarize.
The matter is simple, Johan. It is simple. We either do what we have to do, or the municipality closes. It's simple as that.
Yeah, so they won't have
And the truth of the matter is, let me put it to you this way. At the end of the month, if I don't have money, I'm just not going to meet my financial obligations, including the payment of salaries. I've told the mayor this, I've told the province this, and I will tell the executive council and EXCO. If I don't have funds, I am not going to do what was done here previously. Take conditional, use money which you're not supposed to use. I will not do that. Don't have money.
You say it was done in the past?
Yes, it was done. You know that our grants, we use the grants for operational expenditure. I'm not going to do that. You cannot do that. The legislation does not allow you to do that, and I won't be doing that. And that's what I was trying to say to the staff. Guys, there will come a month when I may not be able to meet my financial obligation to you. It's not out of my own volition that I don't want to pay. It's just that circumstances won't allow me. And if there's no money, there's no money. So it's either we all get together, put our energies together and rescue the place, or we all just perish together. It's simple as that. There's no other way I can put it to you.
Okay, now before we round off this interview, a very, very important aspect. Samu uses the accusation of corruption, I presume, to gain the moral high ground. And they are quite adamant that there is corruption. Now, I must be quite frank with you. We've also heard the same stories, and people have been feeding us information that there is rampant corruption. As a matter of fact, one of the senior officials inside Ugu has said to me that these guys are stealing themselves blind. Any input from you on that one?
Johan, I think you used the word in your interview just now. It's ironic. Because if you look at one of the issues that was picked on Thursday was that I was suspending people because I wanted to fire them. Now, when I suspend somebody, I suspend them on the basis of a recommendation from a head of department. I don't go looking for people to suspend. And the truth of the matter is that some of those people that have been suspended for allegations of corruption. I'm not saying that they're corrupt. I'm saying there is allegations. So I've suspended them. Now, the law must take its course. There will be an investigation. If there's need be, I will open a criminal charge. If not, there will be a disciplinary hearing. Now, why is the double talk from Samu? you are saying there's corruption, I'm dealing with that, but then in the same breath you're saying, no, what I'm harassing your members by suspending them. Why don't you let the law take its course? And if it's found that I've unduly harassed that person, that's fine. But let's wait for the outcome. So I find it, is it a paradox? That it's what you're saying opposes the other. You're saying there's corruption in Ugu. The municipal manager is dealing with that corruption. And then you're saying in dealing with that corruption, I must not suspend your members. I really don't get it. I don't know whether I'm confused or whether someone else is confused. But the issue of corruption is an issue we will deal with. And like I've said to people before, and I'll say it to you, if it's serious enough, we need to take it to one of the security agencies.
But how serious is it from where you sit? What can you pick up?
Yeah, some of the issues that I'm looking at, at face value are quite serious. But like I said, there are allegations, and I need to look at it, give people a chance, probe it. And at the end of the day, whatever comes out of it, and I think you have been at the press conference where we were open and transparent about that. And when the other ones come on, I'll also give that information. Right now, there are a few investigations that are going on, and there are a few people that have been suspended on the basis of allegations of corruption.
Just an update, the very last one. Remember the official who allegedly committed fraud and which you investigated. Yes. Where are you with that one?
That one, we charged the official. We started the disciplinary process, but unfortunately we couldn't leave it because he had resigned. By that time, I think you were aware of that. And we have opened a criminal charge, and there is a case number we can let you have. And we have met the investigating officer. And I think this week or next week is a follow-up. She's coming back. And the law must now take its course on that matter.
Didi, thank you. In closing, what would you like to say to the people watching this interview at the moment?
Johan, all I'm going to say is that I don't want to be a victim and, carry on like I'm being looking for sympathy. When I took this job, I understood what went with it. And I understand the people who are trying to vent and voice their dissatisfaction and unhappiness where they're coming up from. But I'm asking people to look beyond that. And it's not about you and me, it's about this institution of government that serves people. And whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing for my own personal reasons. I'm doing because it has to be done. And if you put any person here who is mindful of what I've said, will do exactly the same things. So whether you have me here or whether you have somebody else, they're going to do that. So my plea to everybody, even the communities, and believe you me, we've had some very good support from the communities. At the end of the day, I'm saying that instead of working against each other, let's put our resources together so that we can turn this municipality around, so that all of us can be proud and we can have a job at the end of the day. Because if we behave in the way that we're behaving, this municipality will perish. And at the end of the day, many of us will be without a job because there will be no municipality, or the province would probably come and take over the municipality and deal with it the way we want to deal with it. And finally, I just want to thank your video that gave publicity to this. And I think arising out of that, I've received a whole host of emails and telephone calls quoting your eHouse It video and basically offering me unconditional support and basically saying to me that the community is 100% behind what I'm doing. So it seems like there are those who understand what the situation is and who are convinced that what I'm doing has to be done. So when you have that kind of support, you know that you have people who are supporting and you will go ahead. So unfortunately for me, and I hope I'm not coming across as arrogant, I have to continue doing what I've started and I can't back off. And that's the way it's going to be.
And you can carry on saying some more good things about your house if you want.
Yeah, no, I think you guys were there on Thursday, and you listened, and I think you'll give the public a balanced view, and I think most importantly that you don't as opposed to the print media, you are reporting it like it is, and people can exactly see what happened, who said what, and how it was said, and so on and so forth. So, we think that's good. We thank you for that, and especially for yourself. You seem to have an interest, and also I don't want to praise you, but I think you are not. I won't say that you are not averse, but I don't think you're aggressive. I think where you need to say things, you say it. But I think where you need to put our viewpoint, you put it. And I'm just saying this to you again, to e-house it and everybody else who views whatever you put on, is that at the end of the day, whatever we have started to do, we will do. When I came to Ugu, I said something. And I said to people, in trying to regularize the situation, there will have to be consequences. Johan, you come a long way, you know business, there are business people out there. When you want to correct something, there must be consequences because the present situation cannot continue. And that is what is happening now. There are consequences. Now the consequences or the degree of consequences or the negativity generated can be decided by yourself. You understand? So that is the issue. And from my side, all our figures, after the 17th, I will even make available copies to you. We'll show you in black and white what the figures are. Go and check our budget. It will tell you a story. The figures I gave you told you a story. So if you think from 1st of March I've come here and failed, I would have failed in turning the place around. But I would not have failed of creating the problems. I think let's just separate that. And also, we need to separate personal issues from collective issues. I'm quite happy to deal with collective issues. I will. And some of the issues the unions have raised, I will deal with them. But when it comes to personal issues, I won't deal with it outside of the regulatory framework. Because when you start doing that, then you start setting precedents and you're getting into trouble. But from our side, thank you very much. And we hope that we'll be successful.
Didi, thank you. And we all hope in Ugu that you can do the same year that you did in Namdoni. And best of luck.
We'll try. Thank you very much.